Join us every Sunday for an episode of the Digital Business Forum
at 2 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. MST, 5 p.m. EST, and 10 p.m. GMT.
This forum will feature successful, experienced digital business owners with inspiring information to help you make that informed decision about starting your own digital business. By starting your own online business, you will have more free time to take control of your life, create generational wealth, retire early, and make money from anywhere in the world with just your laptop, phone, and internet. If this resonates with you, don't miss this Sunday. Digital Business Forum. Be informed, be inspired.
All right. Hi everybody, whoever is watching us. Welcome once again to the Digital Business Forum. Be informed, be inspired. We are super excited today. By the way, my name is Dorothy. If it's your first time to see me, originally from Uganda, currently a proud digital business coach. And I'm going to let my co-host, David, to introduce himself before we proceed.
Thank you, Dorothy. Good. I don't know where to begin from. Greetings from wherever you are. My name is David. I'm an advisor on cybersecurity and digital businesses here in California, USA. And I'm here today with a lady from Vancouver, Anita. Anita, you're welcome. Our viewers are, excited to hear what you have to say today. We always come here every Sunday, 2 o'clock PST, 3 o'clock Mountain Time, and 5 o'clock Eastern Time. And for those that are in Europe, I think it's about 9 o'clock GMT, where we kind of inform you and inspire you into the digital business. So you're welcome, Anita. We're excited to have you on this show. Yes. Back to you, Dorothy.
All right. Thank you so much, David. All right, so now we have our amazing guest for today, all the way from Canada, Vancouver, Anita. She's a proud mother of 2 boys, teenagers, and a wife to a loving husband. And this is a person who has been owning a piano business for over 20 years. We're going to hear from her how she walked away from 20 years plus of a business to follow a new path. You guys, having that experience and then you decide to go for the new post. So if you're parent out there, just drop it in the comment section that you are ready. If you believe moms can be CEOs too. All right, so it's your time, Anita, to floor is yours to introduce yourself before we proceed.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dorothy and David, for inviting me to your forum. And I'm so proud to be a digital business owner. And just want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome, to join us in this episode. And as Dorothy just gave an introduction of me, and I have been working in a piano retail business for over 20 years. And I am also a mother of 2 teenagers boy who have great passion for volleyball and a loving wife. And right now I am a very proud digital business mentor. And thank you so much for this opportunity for me to share my journey.
Oh, sorry. Wow. All right. Thank you so much. When I saw you in our community, I saw a lot in you. And this is where I had your story. After a brief job of shadowing the 9-to-5 clinic, as you're trying to go the traditional way, to live the traditional way of the business. And basically you are just looking for freedom and flexibility according to what I know a little bit, but
Yeah.
today our viewers out there, you are going to, our guest is going to elaborate on how actually
Mhm.
she made that decision of from a 20 successful years running your own piano retail store and
Mhm.
music school. What made you walk away?
Mhm.
And how did you know that? How did you know it was time for a change?
Yeah, this is a really good question. I have been owning the piano store for over 20 years, and we have like a music school, and I really love the instrument. I learned to play piano while I was in the business, and I love the piano business. But back in 2023, there is something happening with the management, and there is a change in the management team. And I felt like, I cannot be in that group or team anymore. And even though I still own the business, I'm still part of the shareholders in the piano business. I just walk away from the operation, level. So I'm not working there, which means that I do not have a steady income anymore. So at that point, I start to realize that, hey, I do need, income to support my family, especially my boys. They really love piano, love volleyball, right? So then as you mentioned, I have been invited for a job interview at a medical clinic. So I went there. The reason I went for medical clinic is I really like, to do cosmetic stuff, makeup, and beauty stuff. And I before my piano business, I actually worked in a cosmetic store as a manager for like 2-3 years, and I really love that kind of business, right? And then when my friend said, "Okay, I have this opportunity. Let's go, for an interview. See how you feel about it." So the industry itself really attracts me. I love that. But once they offer me a 3 hours work shadowing, and because the position that they open is for accounting, higher accounting manager positions, which means I have to look at the computers and doing, the data analysis, entry. And I still remember that scene when I walk into that office. The office is really small, and I have to work with two colleagues in a very small space, and like 6 monitors in a small room. And I after that 3 hours, I really asking myself, do I really want to spend my time like this in a small office and working on the computer all day? And then all these thoughts about my kids, how am I going to pick them up? It's a 9 to 5 job, and they still use the clock in system. So you have to clock in on time, 9 o'clock, and you leave at 5. And it's right in downtown Vancouver, which the traffic was crazy. If I'm driving from where I live, from the south to downtown, it took me maybe 45 minutes to an hour for one way. So then when I came down from the work shadowing, I start to ask myself, do I really want my life in a really small office working like that all day, facing the computer? And what if my kids have a field trip? What if my kids has a school like overnight camp? What if my kids have volleyball practice, national games? What am I going to do with it? I can't go any of the event that they're going to be involved in. It really, make me feel like very, very stressed about this. And, as a mom, this is the mom's guilt. I want to be a part of my kids' journey. I want to be there for them when they, win the games, they lose the game, but I'm there for them. So it really breaks my heart when I think about all these scenes that I won't be able to grow with them, to see their milestones and all these important moments. And I really have this loud voice telling me, no, I can do this, because the most important things in my life are my children. And everything that I work in the past 20 years, I always schedule my work around my children's schedule. But once I lost that freedom, if you ask me to go back to 95, that means I cannot tell my boss every day, I'm not going to come because my kids have a volleyball game. So that's really tough, and but I want to be with them all the time. And at that time, I know that no, I can't really go back to a 9-to-5 job. Even they offer really high pay, even the industry is very attractive, it's something that I'm really passionate about. I know that this is not for me. So at that point, I start to look into, business opportunity, and then search online what kind of digital business opportunity that might be available for me. And one day, because I am in the market for looking for these opportunities, and all these algorithms know that I'm the right audience. So one day on Facebook, my mentor ads pop up, and she is a mother of 3 young children and stay-home mom for 10 years. And she was operating this business out of her free time. And she was able to help her husband to drop the second drop within a couple of months. So when she shared her story, it was so powerful. I said, that's it. That is something I want. I want to be at home with my children and use my free time to work, and then still able to make a sustainable income for my family. So that's how I started this, online business, because I see it offers everything I needed, and it has great potential for the income ceiling. So that's why I start my due diligence, investigate, and find out that this is something that I really want. Yeah.
Wow, so powerful. David, do you want to add something?
Not really. I just made a few notes here while you were actually giving your story. I realized that the most important things to you are really are the reasons why you just couldn't find yourself as a perfect fit for an 8-to-5 or 9-to-5 kind of job. You mentioned traffic, you mentioned that being confined in that small office and looking at a screen your entire day, and the fact that you didn't see an opportunity for you to run those small errands, in between, be able to juggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you had that when you still worked in a company where you had some level of control. But now this is somebody else's business. It just doesn't work that way. And the other fact is that you also had this desire to fulfill your kids' passions and be able to check off those milestones as well, or be able to experience that, So pretty much you were talking, and I was seeing all these small reasons that made your big why, your big reason for jumping in. And in fact, it checked off the second question I had for you and the third question I had for you, because I wanted to really see how, this 3-hour, job or trying to pick, how that affected or how that, influenced you, and how your kids' passion also influenced you into becoming an entrepreneur. But you kind of, checked off those boxes for me. So, wow, and that's powerful. Dorothy, you want to add on to that?
Yes, for me, I felt like freedom is to say no. That means time freedom gives you the power to say no to toxic, work environment, overwork, or opportunity that don't align with your values or your goals.
Yes.
And it's all about control over your time. I always tell people, the day you will test the freedom of you making your own decision, of running life, like living life on your own terms, trust me, and if they give you more than what you earn to go back to that regular job, I don't think you can, because money can be earned again, but time cannot.
Exactly.
You can't buy it at the end of the day. So thank you so much. It was just actually time freedom gives you the ability to live your own terms, intentionally and joyful, and with purpose, basically, because most people, we do things when you are just building somebody's legacy. You don't have your purpose.
Well, we're still at it, by the way, Dorothy. If we can move on to our next, to whatever is coming next. I wanted to kind of pick your mind, Anita, on how, this is just out of curiosity. You being a part of a piano business, okay? How different was your work? How do I phrase this? I know for sure that if you're running and if you're doing a job, if you're employed somewhere, and you're on a schedule, you're on the clock. You mentioned clocking in and clocking out. So it means you're on somebody else's time.
Exactly.
Okay. I just wanted, out of curiosity, I just wanted to pick your mind on how your earlier work experience was. Was it giving you that level of flexibility, being that you were part of the shareholding? Did that give you a bit of flexibility to work and be able to juggle?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I am part of the shareholder, so I'm in the management team. And basically, most of the time schedule, I am flexible. So I can plan my own time around my kids' schedule. And today, if I need to attend my kids, let's say field trip, I can go because nobody will say no to me. I have the power to do that. I still have that time freedom. But imagine when I step out from my business, I have lost control of my time freedom, which really freaks me out because I am so used to it. For the 20 years, I joined all my kids' activity, any kind of field trip, and I got invited to the school volunteer lunch on because I, invested so much hour in the volunteers because I just love to be a part of their life. And I have been doing that for the last 15 years because my older one is 15 years old. And imagine in 2023, suddenly say, hey, you're going to lose that. You're going to lose your time freedom. You're going to lose all the opportunities that be a part of your kids' growth journey or milestones. It really freaking me out. And when my friend introduced me to the job and went through the 3 hours work shadowing, and when I came down, that thought of not able to be a part of their life really scared me. So I said, no, no, no. And as Dorothy said, I have been working for myself. It's because kind of it part of my business. I'm wondering why I have to do the job and make somebody rich. Why I have to use my knowledge and all my ability to build the wealth or the legacy for somebody else. I have that ability that I can build my own business. That's what really turning me that okay, I'm not going to go find a job, no more like 9 to 5 or whatever job that I need to find in the market. I need to kind of change my direction. I want to be an entrepreneur again. I want to be a business owner. And actually through that journey I did some investigations of traditional business. So I did went to seminars, franchise trade like show to look for opportunities. But at the same time, when I look at all these numbers, because I used to work also for the accounting, for the books, for the company, so I know how to do the analysis of what the business opportunity were there. I'm looking at like franchise. They're asking for like at least 200K Canadian dollar to join to be a part of not a very famous, let's say, coffee shop, not even Starbucks. But how long it's going to take me to get this investment back? And especially in the time of 2023, right after pandemic, things are not really, clear path and things are still, uncertain. And also when I open a store, that means I have to be there. It's still a shop, brick and mortar store, shop that you need to attend before I can actually free again. I need to train people. I need to have someone that I trust to run the business before I can actually say, okay, I'm free now. So thinking about that, it's going to take me maybe a couple of years, 2, 3 years minimum to be able to build that before I can get my freedom back. And what's going to happen this 2, 3 years? I still get stuck in the shop because I need to go open the shop, make sure the training is done properly, keep an eye on everything. So I say, no, I don't want that anymore. That's how it's actually twist me towards the online space and digital business, because this gives you not just the time freedom, it gives you also the locations. You work anywhere you want, anytime you want. I can be in my car waiting for my kids, I can still run my online business. I have been doing online interview in my car. it's just that flexible. Where you find this flexibility, beside online space, I cannot think of anything else, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. David, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, well, thank you, Anita. Thank you, Anita. I just like where your conversation is heading, because you're painting the picture. You're painting the picture the way, personally, I would have loved to kind of hear it, because with all these questions in mind, and I'm trying to, get to understand some of the key elements behind people's decisions, okay, to do what they do, and how that shapes the type of businesses, or how they see work and the way they earn. And again, I realized that when you left the piano business, that was giving you flexibility, because that was my question, that was giving you that flexibility. It's interesting, Anita, if you don't know something, sometimes you dive in thinking that it's going to be different, or you have a different expectation. You left that job where you had control, and you picked some hours in a traditional business, and of course you got burnt as soon as you got there, because you realize I'm losing all the freedom that I had. I'm losing what's important to me. Okay.
Yes.
Of course, it didn't take long, because you had experienced something different. It's like seeing something and unseeing it. You just can't unsee what you've seen. Or if you've been able to experience that, you just can't unexperience it. It always sticks with you, and it shapes the way you look at life. So it definitely killed it for the brick and mortar business model for you. Okay. And it makes sense that, when you did the 8 to 5, you came out, the only logical thing was to look for something that will still give you, that was one, would give you a shorter time to build.
Yes.
Okay. And then will give you the same freedom you've enjoyed, because you just can't unexperience that. Okay. You want some, so it shaped, and it shaped your decisions, and of course it directed you towards that checklist you had to see that what actually checks off these boxes that are so important to me.
Yes.
With my family, flexibility to work anywhere, freedom, and being able, working borderless or locationless. I mean, technically, you can work from anywhere, from your kitchen, from your bedroom, from a friend's home, while you're visiting, wherever, on vacation. You can choose to go on vacation, but spend a few hours looking at your business, and it's still free. So you are kind of checking off all those boxes, and definitely you are unchecking brick and mortar models while you are looking at doing this. And of course, it also answers another question about how that influenced your decision to do a digital business. So, thank you for sharing. Back to you, Dorothy.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. She almost answered some of our questions, but thank you so much. Because of the time, since now when you're from a traditional side, now you're coming into the digital world, were there any moments you felt like giving up? If so, what motivated you to keep going?
This is a really good question. Especially, I'm coming from a brick and mortar store, and there are a lot of things that I need to relearn. So I have to actually learn a lot of things that I have no experience about. The online space, how the algorithm work, how to put on an ad, how to do videos. That's all new to me. So at the beginning, I still remember when I came to the coaching call, I asked my coach this question. I say, do we seriously have to do video? can I not do any kind of video? I don't want to be on a video. So like that's my fear,
Right.
to be put on the videos myself and do an ad. It's kind of scare me. That fear really stopping me there. So I asked my coach, can I not do that? And I remember he answered me. He said, well, it's your business. Nobody has the right to tell you what you need to do. But today, if through our experience, I'm telling you that video will have a better result, will you able to try it? At least try. So he asked me this question. He left me with the question like, okay, do I want to let my fear stop me there, or I just have faith that I will be able to do it one day? Maybe not the first couple of months or weeks, right? Who knows how long it's going to take? But do I have faith that I will be able to reach that goal and be able to overcome my own challenges? So then I say yes to myself. I say, okay, I'll have faith, and it may take me time. It may take me longer than other people, but I will do it. So I think the challenges of like being in a new space, putting myself out to the public, doing a videos, photo sharing on the, social media, it was something that kind of like, pulling me back. But since my coaching call, I decided for myself, hey, this is what I want to do. And I know this is the future. I'm like 110% sure this is the right platform and right business for me.
Right.
So the only thing is, am I able to overcome my own fear and put myself out there, and I will try my best to reach my dream or my goals, right? So at that time, I made that decision. And I remember when I joined some of the training that we have, in our community, that's always somebody asks this question, right? So when you have this fear, you have to remember where your goals are and where is your dream. And you have to remember that if you say yes to your dream, and the only thing you need to do, you just have to focus. You stay focused and you just slowly, step by step, 1% a day, you're going to get there. So I think that's belief helped me to overcome all the challenges or the difficulties that I have when I joined the business.
Right.
Wow. Wow. That's so powerful. It's like, I love our business, how it is, how they strategied it. It's like before you even think of doing it, you know what you have to do for you to get results. So it's up to you to say, yes, now let me proceed. Or no, then let me don't even invest into it, because it doesn't make sense to invest in the business, then you will not get results, simply because you can't do what others are doing to get those results. So I love that. Thank you so much. David, do you want to say something?
Yes, Dorothy, thank you. Mine, is one of those that I just don't want to let her go without, kind of saying a word. Anita, it's a jungle out there, okay? And I know you have a lot of experience running a business. You've run a business for 20 plus years. You have also engaged in digital business, okay? But then a lot of people are struggling on just identifying the one that they can do, because there are a lot of scams out there. There's multi-level marketing. There's all sorts of things, pyramids, and people are scared. They don't want to bug friends and family to do whatever they're doing. You'll hear of insurance being masquerading, shielded as financial literacy. They'll tell you financial literacy, but at the end of the day, they're going to talk about insurance. And a lot of people say, man, again, insurance, I have to talk to people. And there are people that have tried these businesses, but they've kind of found challenges to navigate successfully. How were you able to identify this opportunity, from having that kind of background for so many years and then choosing to do digital? How did you see this? How did you, kind of thing?
Yeah, Great question. Yeah, when you talk about the insurance, the financials advisor thing, actually, before I joined this business, I have a lot of connections, from the business side, right? Piano business side. I have like maybe multiple clients that are actually doing insurance business that want me to be part of it. So I have maybe at least three. And one of them is really good friend of mine. So I actually tried. I signed up for courses. I was trying to get certificate, but to a point that even after 1 year, I'm not able to finish any kind of like exam. And then I asked one of my best friend who is a hiring agent for the insurance agency company. And I think the interview I have with him really helped me to identify who I am, what I want to do in my life, and what my passions are.
Right.
So he gave me like a really long survey. And then after that, we have a in-person discussions. And after he looked at my survey and what experience I have, my ability, he said, you definitely have the ability to do the job. But how come after 1 year, you still haven't finished any kind of exam certificate? There is a reason why. He told me, because you're not passionate about it. Because this is not where your passion is. So I think it's very powerful when he told me that. I said, yeah, that's why. That's why I got stuck there for the whole
Right.
year. I couldn't finish any kind of certificate. Why? Because I don't like it. I don't want
There
to
you
do it.
go.
I keep procrastinating. And that really like clicked my mind, okay, I need to find something I'm really passionate about. And I think when I see this business opportunity, I see how people lives are impact or like, change because of, people that in the business. I see the opportunity. I want to be one of them. I want to make an impact in people's life. And I want to be a mentor that give purpose, for people that joining me. And I think that's really a turning point for me to know what is the right business for me or not. So when I see this business opportunity pop up in my eyes and I did all my due diligence, I went to a private Facebook group and see so many different people and they're talking about their background, their story, and I see how this business really changing people's life. I cannot unseen it. So, like as you see, if you see something, you cannot pull back and say, "I don't see it anymore." I know it's there. I'm
Yes.
really passionate about it, and I love to do that. And that's why I think this is the turning point and what really differentiate this business opportunity aside from the other ones that I have been, looking through.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anita. You answered my question so nicely. You went through a self-discovery process,
Yes.
and that's key because not everybody is cut out to do certain things. Much as people make money, like in healthcare, a lot of people make. I always use this healthcare thing because in my family, I come from a family where everybody has done medicine. They have something to do with medicine, pharmacy, that is drugs and medicine. I did technology, okay, because I had a passion for it. There you go. And everything that I see, everything that I do must have something to do with technology because that's where my passion is. And that has kept me going now when you mention. But even if you were to throw somebody into an area where they are not cut out to perform, it takes forever. So I understand. And that guy, whoever it is that you were talking to, he did a very good job with you because he helped you to see who you are, to understand who you are as a person and where your key, what kind of elements you're made of, so that you can actually do something that you have a passion for. And there you are. You jumped onto this. Thank you very much for sharing that. I hope that will inspire somebody out there that still thinks they have to do something that somebody else is doing because you see they're making money. But hey, take a step back, analyze whatever it is that you think you want to do. It's not about the money. Of course, the money is a big motivator. But at the end of the day, what keeps you going? or where is the what keeps the engines running? What
Exactly.
motivates you? It should be something you're passionate about and something that you can die for or see yourself succeed. And that's probably one of the greatest lessons I've got from this particular question. So thank you very much for sharing, Anita. Back to you, Dorothy.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Actually, that is a true definition of defining yourself first before doing anything, because it allows you to control the narratives. It's not defining who you are. If you do not define who you are, at the end of the day, the world will do it for you. And often it won't be accurate or even empowering. So I actually that is really, to me, it's a true definition of you need to define yourself first. I always tell people that every business is successful, but you, the person who is doing it, you are the wrong person for that business. But the business is working, the business is successful. And a lot of people, when people talk about the financial literacy, I don't know why they just think of insurance. It's even beyond that. Right? So once you define yourself, there is that clarity, brings the confidence, whereby knowing who you are helps you show up with the confidence in conversations, opportunities, and even challenges. Because a lot of people say that I'm very confident when I talk about this business. Yes, because I did my due diligence, So I'm confident because I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's me. I defined myself before doing it. Even I did my investigation. So that means it's very important to define yourself, and actually defining yourself, it guided you to your directions, right?
Exactly.
You've been, having all that is it 1 year? Like while trying to do those exams and everything, but this is where you are doing nothing. That means it helps you to guide your direction. When you know your core values, you will get to know that you stand for. It's easier to say yes to what aligns or no to what distracts. So I love that, because it's all about it empowers the purpose-driven, the purpose-driven living. So thank
Exactly.
you so much. I really appreciate for that. And thank you for sharing that. It's a lesson to everybody out there. Our viewers, it's possible. Mothers, you can be CEOs too. So if you're in
Yeah.
a comment section, put it in a comment section. I will be a CEO, and share it to other entrepreneurs out there, or anybody who wants to start their own digital business globally. All right, that's what I can add on that, unless you have something else, David, before we go to our last question.
Yeah, I think move on to the next one.
Okay, so the last one is, it is the second last one, sorry. As you've been running the traditional, brick the mortar business tour, now thriving online, what were the biggest mindset shifts you had to make it?
Yeah, I think the biggest mindset shift will be that you need to be really disciplined. So when you have a store, you have hours, you go work, and then, even I have freedom, I still schedule my time around and still do my work. But on an online business, basically you are your own boss. Nobody here to tell you what to do, when you do it, and what result you want. So I think from this perspective, I need to be my own cheerleader. I need to lead myself, and I need to have a plan. Before, if you have a business, you may have partners, you have somebody, talk to you about, what the direction is and how you want to do it, all the strategy and planning and all that. But once you're into this online business and you are your own boss and you're also your biggest cheerleader. So I think the thing for me is to how I can be a very disciplined person in working on my own online business and have a really clear goal and objectives for myself so that I can push through. Because in the store, you have other things, right? You have responsibility that, people or even your listed out for you that you have to fulfill. And you have the burden that you need to make sure your employee got, their salary and all of that. That burden will actually keep you moving, right? In your own business, you need to be really disciplined because nobody gonna tell you, nobody gonna, push you, and nobody will actually make you do something. And you need to be the engine of your business. You have to push through, you have to make a plan, you have to have clear goals and all of that. It's, I think, one of the biggest mindset shift for me. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's so nice. That is so fantastic. So, David, you're going to come up with our last question before we leave this place. It's a mindset shift. I love that.
Yes.
I think I'm muted. Oh, thank you very much, Dorothy. And thank you very much, Anita, for sharing key elements about doing your own business. I think after so many years through school, usually you have some kind of a teacher or lecturer or professor that will come and give you instructions on what to do, So we are trained from a very young age to take instructions, Then you take instructions from your parents. You take instructions from mom. Mom knows when you should go take a shower. Mom knows when you should go have dinner. Mom knows when it's time to go to church or go to pray or do whatever it is, mom. And then you have your dad who pulls the strings and takes care of certain things, but you also have instructions from both parents. So it becomes very difficult as an adult that has worked a regular 9 to 5 to kind of go into this kind of entrepreneurship. You find something digital that's going to give you freedom at last, okay? So you have freedom. If you're not very careful, you can misuse this freedom. If you're not very careful, you can have nothing going on. It's unfortunate, but it's a learning curve. I know of some people that have started, okay? They came in with all this drive, they've started, and they've not done nothing. Why? Because they're waiting for somebody to tell them what to do next. So I always say this, when you go into entrepreneurship, business entrepreneur, when you become a business entrepreneur, or when you do something for yourself, like start a digital business, nobody's going to be looking over your shoulder for what you're doing, what you're not doing. You have a mentor and a coach. And what these people do is to hold your hand to see that you're successful. They're not necessarily going to kind of babysit you, but they're just going to be there when you need help. And they'll show you how to do it right in case you're messing up or in case things are not going as expected. But other than that, they're not going to be bugging you on, hey, what level are you? What's not going right? No, because you are your own boss. And at the same time, here's the expectation. At some point, you are going to be mentoring somebody.
Yes.
So if you come in and take on the role as a leader, because you are leading yourself first.
Exactly.
By being your own boss, you are leading yourself first, meaning you're putting yourself in that position, the mindset shift that we're talking about, into that position of leadership. So the first employee you have is yourself. He's the employer and he's the employee, because you have to wear so many hats to be able to do this. You are going to be the sales and marketing, like you said. At some point, you were, and you didn't know you were wearing all these hats. You knew you were wearing a CEO hat. And you didn't know that when it comes to promotions and doing this, we need a face. So who's, Anita, whose face are we going to present if you're the first employee and you don't want to present your face? So you see where the challenge comes?
Yes.
So it's a learning curve, but you also have to learn very fast that, you know what, if I'm going to get the results from this, I have to present my face.
Mhm.
People just have to get used to this because this is how I'm going to make the money. So, I appreciate that you pointed that out so that people see that the people that have managed to move from here to there have had to have a mindset shift. They've had to embrace
Yes.
what it takes to make it.
Yeah.
Do that. That's uncomfortable.
Yes. Get out
Until it's
of your
comfortable
comfort
enough.
zone.
Yes,
Yes.
until it's comfortable enough that until it's comfortable enough that it becomes like second nature to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yes.
So yes, and that pushes me to ask you one last, or to request of you to share what you know something that you can leave our viewers with. Any lessons
The last
learned.
question, David, there's probably.
Okay. Oh, this is it. Okay, looking back since you started this digital journey, okay, in fall
Mhm.
2023, what has been your biggest blessing and the biggest surprise?
That's a tough one because there's so many. uh, I want to say two. Can I say two?
Okay.
Biggest blessings. I think first is for myself, and I think anyone that come into this business, most of people will agree. You actually make a great investment in yourself, and you see a better you every single day, and that's the best feeling you can have for yourself. And you are living a driven life with purpose, and it just make your life full of energy and passion, and every day you're looking forward to it, and because there's something that that is going to bless somebody else with this business for, right? So that's, I think, the for myself, the growth, self development and growth is one of the biggest thing that I get from this business. And second thing, I think I couldn't leave that because it's also a part of my self growth journey, is a supportive community. I earned so much friendships in this business that I wasn't expected. I didn't expect that I would see my business partner offline. Many of them. I've been to New York and for my son's piano, uh, what do you call it, recital. So at that time, I remember I have two business partner in New York. I just, let him know, hey, I'm coming to New York. Can we meet? And we actually met. That was my first time that meeting my business partner offline. And the feeling was like really, really strike me. How this person, like these two people that I never meet in my life, can give me such a great warmth. And, the feeling is like we knew each other for lifetime. It's like family. So that really giving me that what you call power or the strength to really get connected with my community, like my business partners in our Chinese community, and also be a part of the whole big community as well. And I think the relationship and connections are actually helping me to push through a lot of challenges in my journey. Anything have challenges, our life have challenges, nothing else can escape that. But I think the important thing is you have a really strong community that holding you together, and when you face challenges, somebody walk alongside with you. Hey, Anita, and don't worry, I got this. Like last week, I just want to give you an example. I was helping my mentee to build her website at the final stage to adjust the DNS setting, and to a point that there are something that I was missing, and I was so scared that I make a wrong guideline for my mentee that she purchased the wrong email. And then I was sending out a quick message in the group, messenger group, and say, hey, anyone have this experience? Now I face these challenges and question the problem. Anyone can give me an answer. And one of my friend that we met in New York, she saw my message. She texted me right away. Hey, Anita, I just have some time. Let's go online and let's get it figured out. I think I may know the answer. So when she came online, we got that resolved right away. So it saved me like tons of hours to try to figure out what's wrong. Somebody just tell me, hey, this is where you need to go. This is where you're missing. So I think with that support, really making me feel empowered to be in a group of supportive community, people that like mindset, they also would like to grow together. And I think that support really helped me pushing through this online business a lot. So I think these two are the best blessings for me when I joined this business. Yeah.
You said you have been able to see growth, but above all, you mentioned that you're evolving. You're evolving. You see a better version of yourself all the time, every time during the development of your business, and that's true, because the Anita of 1.5 years ago is not the Anita that we see here. Okay, yes. The Anita of 1.5 years ago would never have showed up for this tonight, because it's definitely going to go on social media. So I know how that feels, when you first think about it. And I've also mentored a few people during the course or development of this business. I say, hey, you know what? You are going to appear on social media, and your image is going to be there for a very long time. And we don't know where it's going to end. Okay? We don't know who is going to see it next. So the big question is this the version of yourself that you would like to see 10 years from now? Okay? If you so choose to come here and you haven't combed, or you didn't care to iron your shirt, I'm just giving an example. Is this who you want to see 10 years ago and say, oh, that's the David of 10 years ago. He was a very shabby man. You know what I mean? So I know it can feel very uncomfortable when you're starting to do this, but you see a better version of yourself as you progress. And that, my friend, is very powerful. So it's not only about you being able to earn from a business of choice, but as a person, you are growing, and you are growing not just for yourself, but for the people that you support as well. Yes. Take it to the guys that you were able to contact on the in the community. We do have a community of over 200,000 business entrepreneurs on Facebook. It's the largest business group that I know of online. Okay, if there's another one and you know about it, please shoot out or send me a message and say, hey, David, there's this one over here. But
you need to talk about it. There is some good news there too, right?
Yeah, because that's all I know. This is what I see. It's the biggest. But you being able to leverage it, and yes, that's powerful. You leverage that and went out there when you had a challenge and you say, hey guys, I'm stuck here. Definitely somebody has already been there and they know. And the willingness, is priceless. The willingness that people are out there, and if they have a minute, they can jump onto a Zoom or some kind of a remote session with you and solve it. Very powerful. Okay. Yes. So if you're sitting on the fence out there and you think you're going to be on your own, we're telling you here is an opportunity to do something and have a community, a team of people that can support you along the way to make sure that you're successful. So thank you for pointing that out to Anita. Back to you, Dorothy.
Thank you so much, David. I'm not going to dilute that, guys. Let us just give our guest, because it's already it's almost closely to an hour. So guys, we are so sorry we stretched our guests, so allow us to live. Don't forget, we are here every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, with amazing guests like Anita. Okay, stay tuned to Digital Business Forum. Be informed, be inspired. Because of time, we're not going to go through the comments. Maybe David, you can pop the comments on the screen, and then it's gonna be a bye-bye. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Right through a few. We have Sarah Aguero. Says great information. Nice to see you here, Sarah. I see Joy somewhere watching from Kansas. Hey, Joy. Thank you for joining. We have Lukanga Pro Queen. Pro Queen, hello. We don't know where you're watching us from, but wherever you are, this is digital, so it doesn't really matter. Thank you for showing up. I hope it's not too late wherever you are. And then Mr. E. Hubert. Mr. E, good to see you watching from Boston. All right. Not so many. I'm gonna say bye-bye after saying Jan, great information. Thank you for showing up tonight. We hope to see you again next Sunday, same time, and that's 2 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and for those that are in Europe, it's gonna be 9 p.m. GMT. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.
Join us every Sunday for an episode of the Digital Business Forum
at 2 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. MST, 5 p.m. EST, and 10 p.m. GMT.
This forum will feature successful, experienced digital business owners with inspiring information to help you make that informed decision about starting your own digital business. By starting your own online business, you will have more free time to take control of your life, create generational wealth, retire early, and make money from anywhere in the world. With